Hey, what's up, everybody? Let me make sure that we are recording here. This is Stephen A. Williams with Blue Book MKE. You're going to love today's video because we're going to talk about marketing. I know some of you might be having a hard time. So, what I want to do is I want to go over some things that you need to know about when marketing your business. It doesn't matter anywhere because this is the one thing. Like if you want to have this, like Steve, you're in front of me and you say, well, what is the one thing that you see because you deal with all of these different businesses from everywhere, and what is the things that you see that business owners have the most problems with when marketing their businesses? And I would say that the one number one misconception is that they don't know how to judge response. And the the root of that is they don't understand the platform that they're advertising on how you're supposed to judge the response. And then once they even go into uh, getting responses, then it's a whole nother animal on closing out customers. Most business owners, when they get a customer or potential customer in their location on the phone, if you're, if you know what you're doing, you're going to be able to survive and make money. The ones that do that to the maximum, like myself, you're going to be able to build a huge company and be able to do things that you always dreamed about, not just sitting there running your business, but be able to hire people to actually work in your business so you can work on your business. So now I want to make you aware of something that a lot of people don't know about, and it's that only 5% of businesses who advertise online and offline are successful. And this is from a research group, Marketing Dive. And so that means that no matter what you're doing, uh, most business owners, and we've seen this is from corporations all the way down to the small mom and pop, to the person running their business out of their basement. 95% do not know uh, what they're doing. And they blame it on that it doesn't work. I blame it on that they just don't know what they're doing. The expectations are either wrong on from what they expect to be able to do from that specific platform that they're on. And so, uh, if 95% of the business owners are doing it wrong, that means there's millions of businesses that what they start to do is they just believe that these platforms do not work. They're like saying, hey, I ran an ad on Google pay per click or Google pay per call, and it just didn't work for me. I didn't make any sales. They're mixing apples with oranges, and they just don't understand. So what I want to do in this video is I want to break down what each one of these platforms, the way that you should market on these platforms. They all will work, but you have to understand and do it a certain way. So let's start here with Google. When Google is a search engine, and the way that you get customers or leads from Google is you have to advertise for keywords. That means that, let's just say that you have an auto transmission. Let's just say, fix my transmission. And it'll say like fix my transmission near me, or fix my transmission, fix transmission leak. So you would bid on these keywords. This is more of a targeted way of advertising. It costs more to advertise this way because you're actually skipping one step in the process. And I'm going to show you what the skipped step in the process is, because the other platforms make you think that this is part of their advertising, which it's not. This is direct search. This person is looking for an individual that will fix their transmission. Now, the thing that most people don't understand is that you have one, two, three, four, five people here that came up in the search. Now, how many people do you believe that are fixing transmissions in, let's just say in my area, there's thousands of companies, auto repair places fixing transmission, and the searches, this is how many websites are in the search, over 105 million sites in the search. So what most business owners start to complain about and what they get upset about is they're like, well, I'm not coming up in the search. And this is going to change based on the budget that the person is able to pay for, and it's going to change based on the ranking of other businesses. So no matter what, no one has enough of the budget to pay for all of the searches. So based on your budget, it's going to determine how many times you come up. And then here comes the other the other problem that advertisers don't seem to take into account is that when a person is searching for transmissions to fix their transmission, and you have an ad that pops up that says auto and tire free delivery and pickup, even though they have transmission set in here, that makes their ad click possibilities go down. It makes it to where this is where that big misconception comes in. It's like my ad popped up 10,000 times for transmission, but only received like one or two calls. And that's because in your ad, it did not speak to the person who was searching for transmissions. It's like, why, why would someone search fix my transmission? Why would they click an ad that says Silver Lake Auto and Tire free pickup and delivery? Why would they click that? They're not going to click it. And this is where a lot of the money is being wasted. This is why people say their ads are not working on Google, because they're running into stuff like this. They don't know. The business owner does not know. They're just running one ad. They think that everybody wants to come in from that one ad. So this is the thing. So just to review, what you need to pay attention to when running your ad on Google is for each keyword, you need to have ads for each keyword. So if this company sells tires, they need to have an ad that comes up for tires, and you tell Google that. If they're doing transmissions, they need to have a whole separate ad that comes up that speaks to people who are searching for transmissions. That's going to get you more click-throughs. That's going to get you more customers that are going to inquire about transmissions. So that's lesson number one on running your ads the proper way on Google. And this for this example is for transmissions. Now, let's go into TikTok. Here we have TikTok, and what people need to understand, and this is really for TikTok, Facebook, and for YouTube, is that when you're running ads on here, it's called discovery. No one is on Facebook. No one is on TikTok. No one is on YouTube looking for your specific product. Now, maybe on YouTube they could search, but really the way that YouTube is set up, and I'm going to show you an example in a minute, is that it's discovery. You can kind of target your ad for people who are watching videos on what you have to offer, but it's still going to be discovery, because why would they want to leave the video that's going to give them something for free to go after something that you have for them that you're going to most likely ask them to pay for? So that's what you have to understand, the mindset of that individual. So here on TikTok, we have these ads on TikTok, and I'm going to pause them here. But you have these ads on TikTok, and what TikTok does is they slip in ads to run, video ads to run in between the content that is placed. But what is being skipped is that no one is searching on TikTok saying, show me an ad on, or fix my transmission. No one is going on TikTok saying, fix my transmission. They're not doing that. So if you're a transmission repair shop in, let's just say, the city of Milwaukee, where I'm at, and I'm not sure if TikTok has this feature yet, but you can do this on Facebook with video ads and on YouTube, is that you want to actually run your ad for the area that you are serving, and it would be a discovery ad. So you would not run an ad thinking that someone was searching for transmission, this would be like a commercial ad where you're introducing your product or your service to viewers. It's like TV. The TV, you're not on TV searching for an ad on fixing transmission. Just an auto shop ad pops up as a commercial in between the shows, and that's called discovery. So when you're running discovery ads on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and you could say even on newsprint, radio, TV, billboards, and direct mail. These are all considered discovery. What you have to keep in mind is that number one, you have to make the ad to introduce your product or service to the person that is the viewer. And it has to be something that'll grab their attention. Now, what people when people are running on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, these platforms here, when people are running on them, the big misconception is that you are thinking they have all of these people and they have to be interested in my product or service. Yes, they do have all these people, but they're not interested in your product or service at the time that you're potentially running your ad. That's why the response rate is really low. A lot of people complain and they say, well, I had, you know, 5,000 people who saw my ad and I only had one person inquire, or I had nobody inquire. That's because they're not on there looking for your stuff. You're going to have to continually run your ads over and over and over again to get the result that you want. Now, I'm going to talk about the way that I do it because you want to control your potential responses by doing what's called lead generation. So uh, so with TikTok, just to review, these would be discovery ads. Your ad would run in between videos from other content that is being posted, and it needs to be something that'll grab people's attention and get them to respond. Next, let's go to Facebook. The same thing with Facebook. This is an ad. It says sponsored right here. And you can see it runs in between the content that is being posted by you or other people. And then they are trying to push you to come to their website or to fill out a form to become a lead and understand their product or service. Even with that being said, this is very difficult for a business to do because number one, they don't. The first thing is the businesses, most of them don't even know how to put together either a commercial or they don't know how to put together an ad the right way. They're just trying to sell to people, and people don't want to be sold. They want to be introduced to what you had to offer. So you have to do this a certain way. I've shown you, and I'm going to show you some examples that I know what I'm doing. But if you've tried to run ads on these platforms and you did not have results, it's because basically you're in that 95% group of just not knowing what to do. But with that being said, Facebook is still discovery. So when people run ads on here, or you run ads on here, people are not looking for your ad. It's what's called discovery. This is like a discovery ad here. And you can do things like retargeting where you know people who have clicked on your website that they are interested in your product or service, but still most of the ads at the beginning are going to be what's called discovery. And also the retargeting features for Facebook are starting to go away because Apple and other platforms are they don't want to let their users know that they're being tracked. So you're going to need to know how to make good discovery ads. So now let's go to YouTube. This is my YouTube channel, and I want to show you what happens when people go to watch one of my video ads. So, I mean, one of my videos. So you can see here, this is an ad that's being ran before my video that I made for one of my businesses pops up. And these are video ads that are being put on by YouTube. I don't, they just pick. So I'm pretty sure because of the market that my video is targeting, this individual is running this ad wants it allowing it to pop up before mine. So you can see right here, this is the ad, and this would be discovery. This individual here, I could tell you They know what they're doing. They are doing what's called lead generation. I'm going to show you right here. If you click his ad that was from my channel, he is not trying to sell you something right away. He's trying to capture your information. And this is what I talk about all of the time. When what I see people doing wrong is they're trying to let me use this analogy. It's like fishing and they're trying to throw the bait out there and they're trying to hook the fish too soon. And we all know there are some people who know how to fish and there are some people who don't know how to fish. And I can tell you that this individual here, he knows how to fish for clients because he's like, hey, let me get as many people that could potentially be interested in what I have as a product or service, and then I'm going to sell them on stuff later. So now I want to show you quickly some examples of stuff that is working with corporations that I see they have figured out how to make this stuff work. But before I get to that, let's just review. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, newsprint, radio, TV, billboards, and direct mail is all what's called discovery. It doesn't matter. Even if you send to a list of people, it's still going to be a small group that's interested and it's going to be discovery. It's going to be like, I'll use an example of my dentist. He sends out a postcard. Do you think that everybody that receives that postcard, yeah, they all have teeth, or 99% of them have teeth or dentures or something, but 90, the majority, a small percentage, I've even asked him, he said like less than 1% even respond to that. So it's very expensive. And the reason why he makes it is because when people come in for a cleaning, people come in to get dentures, people come in to get their cavities, taken out, and fillers, all this different stuff. He's charging thousands, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, so he's able to make it. Most people who are watching this, like if you have a restaurant or something, you can't afford to spend thousands of dollars. So that's why a lot of people are, shying away and they just like, hey, I'll just try to survive the way I can survive. Or they're running ads on these platforms and they're really not making money. And then they, like the example for restaurants, they'll go to Grubhub and Eat Street and all of these different places, and they find out that all they're doing, yeah, they're not advertising, but they're losing money because those companies charge fees when they bring the business to them. And let me tell you the reason why those companies keep increasing their fees, because to advertise, it costs a lot of money to acquire a customer. That's why these services charge so much to these restaurants to be able to even bring them customers. So now let's go to my examples that I have here. Reason why I have this example is because I'm a customer of Saks Fifth Avenue, and I love the way that they number one, retarget their ads to me, but also number two, the way that they continually market and get me to click through to their website. Now, the first thing that they did though, the first thing that they did is they got me on their list for lead generation. Next thing that they did from that is that they know that when I clicked on their website, they retargeted to me. And this is not counting what Apple has taken away from the retargeting feature. You can still do a retargeting if the individual goes to your website. You can program that into Facebook, YouTube, and into TikTok to retarget your ads to those individuals. But it all started with them getting my information and do the lead generation. But Saks Fifth and also Boss Hugo Boss are doing an excellent job with marketing, remarketing, and marketing on Facebook and YouTube, and also on different websites. You can see their different ads. They figured this out. Other companies have not really figured this out and figured out how to make it successful. I can tell you that one of the reasons why they've been able to make it successful is that the items that they have, the majority of them are very expensive. Like one of the watches that I bought was over $3,000. So you could see that if they spent, let's just say $300 to keep marketing to me to come back to their website, and then it all pays off with me buying a $3,000 watch or a $5,000 suit or $400 shoes, you could see how that works. But the difference is that their product or the products that they sell, uh, is high enough to be able to afford them to be able to keep marketing that way. Most companies, probably you that are watching this video, you have a product or service that's probably median, uh, pretty good price range, or if you're a restaurant, and I'm going to show you some solutions for that. If you're a restaurant, you have to be very careful because you can't afford to, nobody's going to buy $100 meal from you or $200, and even if they do buy that amount, it's going to be broken down. You've served several meals. You're not going to serve one $100 meal, so your profit margin on that is going to be very low. So, but I wanted to just show you these. They are running massive ads. They have a lot of ads that are running. They know how to target their market. They're doing very well with their stuff here. Okay, so now let's review before we move forward. When you're advertising on Google, this is direct search. This is where someone is actually searching for what you had to offer. But where people get it wrong is that they didn't design the ads to speak to the individual who's searching. No one wants to search, like our example, transmission, fix my transmission, and a tire shop that also does transmission shows their ad for tires, but they don't show the ad speaking to that individual for transmissions. That's why you have to be very careful. When we do Google ads for companies, we could have as many as 30 to 100 different ads that they have. It just depends on how many keywords and how many products or services that they offer. Also, keep in mind if your product or service that you're offering is not high ticket, you have to be very, very careful on the way that you run your ads on Google, because you could get responses, but the responses are costing you too much to be able to run your business because you're not making enough profit when you sell your product or service. Also on Google, you can do pay per call. You can do where they go to your website, and you can do lead generation, which is what I advise people to do. Is to always consider doing lead generation, because when you generate leads, you're able to remarket to those people. And every time that you remarket to the leads that you have, the cost of generating that lead went down. The next one is TikTok. And with TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, newsprint, radio, TV, billboards, and direct mail, those are all discovery. Those people are not looking for you to send them some information or to show them a video, to show them an image ad. They're not looking for it. So you have to make your ads attractive enough to get the people who are scrolling through interested in what you have to offer, and potentially they'll click. And you should, if it's online with TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, you should do lead generation, just like I just showed you the example of that individual who ran an ad on top of before my video on YouTube showed. You want to do it that way because if you think about it, once you have that lead, you can, number one, remarket to them. And if you're, especially if you're new to business or you're trying to get your business off the ground, you're able to send out different email messages to that individual, and you can see what gets people to click to read more about what you had to offer and what doesn't. You get, it's like you're doing testing. You're doing testing without having to pay for more leads. And also, you know that the people are interested in what you had to offer because they filled out the form, and they took an extra step. So Google allows you to do it. TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube allows you to do it. For newsprint, this is going to be discovery, where people are going through a magazine like mine that I have here. Like my weekly magazine has the advertisers, and people pick these up and they flip through, they see what people had to offer. Some of the times they are looking for specific advertisers, but most of the time they're picking these up and they just want to see what deals are out there from the local business community. And so that's still considered discovery. And the way that people judge, this is the way that people judge if their ads are working from newsprint, is by the phone calls. That's why when we make our ads, we always put a big phone call or we put coupons in there because if they bring in the coupon, the advertiser will know that the response is working. And if they're a direct response advertiser, one of the things that we used to do way back in the past before websites were out is people would have them call a toll-free number and you would be able to track by how many people called and how many people left their information to get contacted. With radio, people you can send them to a website. I suggest making sure that that website allows lead, where you can capture their information and you have a phone number on there so you can know that people are responding to that ad and a phone number with a trackable number on there. With TV, same thing. You can list the website. You can put a number that's a trackable number that forwards over to your number, but you'll know if the TV ad is working. This is something that we do. Even with Google, this is something that we do. We put a tracking number on top of our phone number so we'll know that the number is of calls are different from what we're running in the newspaper and what we're running online on Google and also on Facebook. We run a tracking number so we know where those calls are coming from. And you might be saying, well, why don't the people who answer the phone ask? Because they're busy. I know from my workers, they're very busy and they just, they don't ask for that particular company. For my credit company, we know because we only do lead generation. Yeah, we get calls that come in because we have a toll-free number on our website, but that company focuses 100% on lead generation. I want the name, email, and phone number because what that allows me to do in the future is number one, have that follow-up process with my email, and I can sell them different services, different products, and then it also allows my sales team to do the follow up with them. And with billboards is again discovery. You have to be very careful with billboards because people are driving. They don't always know the number. Billboards have to be very attractive. Billboards is probably one of the hardest ones to get to work because it works really good if you're doing discovery where it's like we have this certain special or it's something that people really, really, really need. Those are the ones that I've seen work with billboards. Other than that, it's touch and go. Direct mail, same thing. Yeah, you're mailing out, it's going directly to the people's house. But if you think about it, they're getting a stack of mail and they usually throw away all of the junk mail. That's what they consider junk mail. So you have to be very careful. You have to make your ad on your postcard very, very attractive. This is something that we did. I'm going to show you a quick example. Okay, now this is reason why I want to show you this example for two reasons. Uh, because the client, uh, we designed the postcard for this client. They sent them out to mail with the any door. I think it's any door direct with the U.S. Postal Service. And let me just go over the mindset of why people would do this type of ad because they believe that if I can send this out to all of these people, someone has to be interested in what I had to offer. And yes, that can happen. And yes, if you spend $300 sending them out, you spend $500 to $600 getting them produced, depending on how many you get produced, and you take the time and labor to mail them out. Uh, people are gonna someone might respond and you might make your money back. But it makes it very tough for the business owner to really succeed when doing it. And but I want to show you this example. This is a very attractive card. It says 25% off. So you see that people are saying, they're doing 25% off and they're sending this out. They also had to buy the list for that area, I think, or they had to just say they're going to a zip code. I'm not sure how they had to do it. But the goal of this is just to get people to come in, to see what you had to offer. But when you take into account like what we talked about, the whole thing, 95% of businesses who advertise are not successful, and it's because they do not understand the platform, like when you're sending stuff direct mail, when you're putting it on a billboard, when you're doing all of these that are below here, which is the ones that most people will try because Google makes you go through a lot of steps to get your ad going. People will try these and they're like thinking that just because I'm putting it out there, a whole bunch of people are seeing it and they're going to respond. And then they get disappointed and they're like, this stuff just doesn't work. And I'm going to tell you the solution in a minute, but I just want to put my arguments out there on this is what you're potentially doing. This is what everybody else is doing. This is why Marketing Dive Research Group found that 95% of the people are not successful with marketing online. Now, marketing online or anywhere, marketing online or anywhere, but this was specifically for marketing online. It even goes down lower with offline because if you don't get with a company that's gonna know how to put your ads together and put things together for you, that number even goes down even a lot less. It's like 1 to 3% for offline. So I just wanted to review that so we can get into what works. And you know what I'm all about when I'm showing my proof on stuff that works. Let's do this here. Let's get this moved over. So I showed you that uh, quick example there. And so let's go here. So with my one company, I always like to use this example so you can see I do lead generation from this company, and I believe that lead generation is just the way to go for any company. It doesn't matter if you're an attorney, it doesn't matter if you have a restaurant, it does not matter if you have a clothing store, it does not matter what type of business you have, lead generation works. Now, what you do with the leads are going to be different. That's going to be pertaining on what type of business you have. But this here, this shows you these are appointments that we had. Let's go into the month before. Look at these appointments. So let's just say that you have a business that sells a service where you have sales reps that call out. Wouldn't you want to have your calendar filled like this? Of all of these appointments that are set, do you think that you would be able to make sales? I believe that you would be able to make sales. You just have to know how to do this, how to get to this point. Or let's just say you have a restaurant. You just want to get more people to come in. How could you get to the point to being able to have a lot of people to advertise your specials to or to just advertise? And something that I want to tell you that we learned from our retail store that we have, my wife found that she doesn't have to run specials. The way that she runs the business, she does not have to run specials. She just has to let people know what's going on, and people would come in and they would just buy. How many times have you seen where stores are always running specials when if they just did what I'm going to be teaching you, they don't even have to run specials. They just have to do lead generation. So let's get into it here. With the business that I just showed you with these examples here over the last few years, I've made over $2.2 million using this process that I'm going to be showing you. It doesn't matter what type of business you have. It doesn't matter. Uh, People think that, hey, it's not going to work for me. I don't care. It worked for you. It didn't work for me. I don't know how to do this with making ads. How do you do it? I'm going to hold your hand step by step, showing you from what to do on day one and what to do with the leads to make your business prosperous. Um, I've worked with cell phone stores, towing and junk car buyers, bankruptcy lawyers, criminal lawyers, personal injury lawyers, credit repair companies, audio stores, daycares, pizza shops, furniture stores, tire shops, auto repair shops, car dealers, new and used, home care, city and state departments. I just got two different ads today, two new ads. Here's one. It's for a study on blood pressure. They want participants. We want to generate leads for the medical college. And they have another one for another where they want volunteers for calories burn metabolic rate study for calories burned at rest. So they want to get two of those. This is a college, medical college, real doctors, real physicians came to me and they're like, Steve, you're the man. We need people to participate in these studies here. Car rental places, computer repair tax refunds, hair braiders, all travel agencies, churches, nightclubs, all of these. We've done it. Here's a little video showing you examples that I've done, these appointments. I just showed you the proof on that. Here's questions and most frequently asked questions. I run down this. Basically, I'm going to show you like you're looking over my shoulder, and I'm going to be there for you where you can either call, text, or email me if you have questions. This right here, you can go here and look at everything that's going to be in the program where you can, you know, learn on your own, or you can have us do it. So here is the cost of the program down below here. We have a couple of different options. If you want to just pay outright, $9.97, and then it's $97 per month. If you want to keep me as a consultant, where you can ask questions during the uh, uh, course, and then here's the payment option of 250 until paid, and then 99.97 for the where you'll be able to ask questions. If you want to have us put everything in place for you, the cost of that is $2,500 to put it in place, and you would just need to have your own ad budget. I would need to see what type of business you have so we can make a proposal to you and let you know exactly how everything would work for your specific business. All right, I hope to see you inside of the course. This will work. Let's make the rest of this year successful for your business. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and co-founder of Blue Book MKE.